Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by The Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffitt Entertainment. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations and has been recognized by the Sioux Falls Stage Awards with a special distinction for promoting the arts. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thank you, Zach Dresch. Nailed that intro again. And thank all of you. You're nailing it as well with your continual listening to this podcast about Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. Today, we talk to Lisa Kutter about this weekend's Peach Festival, an interesting time getting home from Georgia to get those peaches, and her love of entertaining. Then Randy Ruud talks the tech side of theater. He has over 100 shows under his belt and has seen many advancements in lighting, sound, special effects over the years. But first, time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day, and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near, and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. All right, lift 'em high. Whatever it is you toast with, get it up in the air. Mine, of course, is a Jasper Newton Jack Daniels Diet Coke with a lime. And this toast goes out to somebody that I'm sure will want a Michelob Golden. This goes to the executive administrator of this show, Miss Carries. That would be my wife, for those of you that don't know. We did some remodeling in the Big D Entertainment / Dipsy Doodle Studios, Big D Office and the Dipsy Doodle Studios this past weekend. Now, it was nearly 100 degrees all weekend long. Thankfully, the AC kept us cool inside the entire time, but more importantly, she was incredibly cool with her suggestions and help on design. And not losing her cool with me, that's a tough job to do, people. So I toast you, my love, for your support. Thank you. She likes beer, and a lot of other people do too. The Weekend Eve Toast has been brought to you by Ale Hop Brewery Tours. People are talking about how great it is using Ale Hop. Now, on their Facebook page, here's what Tina had to say. Super fun and convenient. You can go out, have a good time with friends, not have to worry about driving home. Best of all, it supports our locals. No matter what brewery in Sioux Falls is your favorite, Ale Hop Brewery Tours lets you and your friends choose any or all of those local breweries, plus a distillery on that list. Book your private tours online at alehopbrewerytours.com. Again, that's for the private tours. Go to alehopbrewerytours.com. Of course, you can find out more about them at that website regardless. Now, if you happen to be out and about on a weekend, hop on a public tour. For more info, call 605-777-2183. That is 605-777-2183. Ale Hop Brewery Tours, where micro fans meet micro brews. Honorable mention. You know, I haven't said this in a while, but, you know, some people think of honorable mention as being that, that's nice what they did, but, you know, they didn't meddle. Well, in fact, that has never been the case. We just honorable mention because there's just not enough time to talk about all the things we'd want to talk about on a weekly basis. But this particular one, honorable mention, is gold. And this young man is gold. I am looking to get him on the show sometime soon. Sean Baker. Perhaps you know his father, Phil Baker, longtime family entertainer here in Sioux Falls. Sean is 17. 17. He still has a year of high school left. We Love Lucy is a film that he made, a documentary. It had its world premiere at the State Theater earlier this week. and it was absolutely phenomenal. And as a professor that was in the crowd said in the Q&A session afterwards, I'm going to paraphrase here. I apologize if I get anything wrong. But basically what he was saying was that the quality of that film, everything that went into it and so forth, if somebody were twice his age, that would have been remarkable. And it being only 17, incredible, no doubt about it. So, congratulations, Sean Baker, Sean Films. The film is We Love Lucy. When we get Sean on sometime, we'll talk about when there might be a chance to see it and so forth, okay? All right, but coming up, the ever-entertaining Lisa Kutter to talk about this weekend's Peach Festival. An interesting time getting home from Georgia, the Atlanta airport especially, and her love of entertaining. Plus, Randy Ruud talks the tech side of theater later on in the show. It's all next on the Dave Holly Hour.
Sure, they have darts, and you've heard me talk about how ruggedly handsome the trivia host is, but all caps fun never stops at the Sky Lounge and Tea. And fun is best had with your friends enjoying live entertainment, as in live and local. Yeah, the Sky Lounge believes in giving you the best bands, solo artists, and comedians from the area. The Neo Johnsons, Elizabeth Hunstead, Skylar Volks, as well as many others. And a great staff will make sure you enjoy your fun at the Sky Lounge in Tea, South Dakota. Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself, too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment. 605-334-1463.
Support the Dave Holly Hour in a very easy way. Buy Dave a cup of coffee by clicking the cup in the lower left corner of www.davehollyhour.com.
Welcome back, everybody, and know the routine. It's time to say it's always a pleasure, and it is. And we've got a first-time guest with us who is an entertainer. She's an actor. She can sing. She can do all sorts of stuff. And for the sake of today's conversation, to start at least, before we start talking some entertainment, we're just going to call her Peaches.
Yeah, hi. It's wonderful.
Lisa Barlow Cutter, how are you?
I am good. How are you? I'm
Wonderful.
hot.
It's
I'm
a
hot
slight,
today.
yes. In fact, I meant
warm.
to say, if all of a sudden the audience hears this big roar in the background, we are recording at our wine bar, as we do many of these conversations, and quite often we're downstairs. Well, they have a big air conditioner about 50 feet from us. And it's been on a couple of times, and it's got a head of steam. So if you hear that, first of all, don't worry.
No.
Second of all, we're calling it a blessing because as we start this conversation, the temperature is 99 outside with a feels like of 106.
Yes. If we were Peach, we would be a cobbler.
Yes, we would.
Yes, we
Very
would.
soon. All right. So, well, first of all, I don't know. Yeah, let's start with the Peach Festival. And talk about that, get the details down and so forth.
Alrighty.
And then I want to hear you actually tell the story that you sent me.
Oh, I will.
About the Atlanta airport.
It's wonderful.
I'm looking
and
forward to that.
And it's Peach related.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
That's the whole thing. We try to tie it all back and so forth.
Yes.
All right. So, Peach Festival this weekend, correct?
Yes, I'm here just to get the word out. Welcome, everybody, to the South Dakota Peach Festival. It is this Saturday and Sunday, which blessedly were supposedly supposed to be the two coolest days of the weekend.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. It is going to be held at the old VFW, 3600 South Minnesota. It's just right next door to the Arby's, between Arby's and the interstate. And it's Saturday 11 to 8 and Sunday 11 to 6.
All right. What are we going to find besides, obviously, peaches?
Peaches are going to be there. We've peaches, cold beverages, peach ice cream. Phil Baker is going to be there.
Excellent.
On Sunday. Just on Sunday, he's doing a show at 1 and at 3. And Saturday, he will be outside. Saturday, at between 1 and 3 for 2 hours, 2 white squares. Vendors. They're a
Oh,
local.
love 'em.
Yes, Amy and Matt Morrison
Yes.
are going to be there. They will be there a Saturday in the bar area of that old VFW building,
Okay.
doing what they do best. And so those two will be there. We also have, I can't even tell you, how many vendors we have, fruit trucks. We have Ever After Entertainment's coming. That's the company owned by Lindsay Lohan in town here who does the princesses. They do a lot all over town, but the father-daughter dances, the Sanford Children's Center. She is a fabulous costumer. So all the Princess Peaches will be there for photos, and they're going to be there both days, all day with characters coming in and out. We're also having some male superheroes coming in from Brandon that are going to be mingling around for photos for the crowd. We have face painting coming up. Here's the list I'm showing him. This isn't good for radio, but this is how many vendors. I can't even.
Yeah, a lot.
I can't even. A lot.
We'll go with that as
everything.
the precise number. A lot.
There's
right
everything.
on the nose.
Yes, and there's going to be the food trucks are going to be out there. We have 4 lined up so far, and I think one more is coming on. So we'll have food out there. Coke is bringing a big old tub of Coke, and we'll
With
have,
lots of ice.
I have ordered 73 50-pound bags.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
There
in
will-
case.
That's where you'll find me.
Yeah.
Is in the ice room,
Submerged.
wherever that is. That's where I'm going to be sitting all day. No, not really, but no, it's going to be fun though. So come
Yeah.
on out; it'll be a good time.
And how did this get started, by the way?
Oh gosh, well it was years ago. My fruit truck is the local business that goes all over
Which
the country.
is amazing.
Yes, it is.
The
It goes-
strawberries, we still have some frozen.
Did you freeze some? So did
Oh,
I.
yeah,
Those
we
are
did.
good. And strawberry season's done. Now we're on to peaches, which come from the Lane Peach Farm in Georgia, which is hotter than here, if you can all believe it. But that's why the peaches are good. But so the peaches are here, and then we also have pecans are in, and so they will be there as well. And it just kind of started as a community event. Irina is the owner of that company. I'm just a volunteer that helps with her, and it was just kind of to give back a little bit, of course, to promote the peaches somewhat. But all the proceeds go to the veterans, the VFW.
Wonderful.
So that is really. She just wanted to do a community give back event, and it kicked off. And
Well,
here we are.
peaches and pecans, if nothing else, get a whole bunch and get ready to make lots of pies.
And we have plain, regular peaches just for to put on your pecan pie. There's cinnamon flavored peaches, and there's salted ones. They're very
Really?
They're very good. They will be there, and they're all right from
Yeah.
the Lane Peach Farm as well. so-
Wonderful. Looking forward to
Yeah.
that. And as you mentioned, there's going to be entertainment both days. So,
Yep.
it's not just, walk around and buy some peaches.
No,
it's walk
no.
around. It's very entertaining regardless.
Yes, and there's bingo is Sunday from 1 to 3, and that's indoors. Some's outdoors, some's indoors. We got the bouncy houses, of course. We can't have anything without a bouncy house. So we have 2 of those coming. But, for those that are worried about the heat, because it is hot, and even it's supposed to be in the 80s, but there will be a lot of indoor activities too. So don't be too afraid of that. And indoor bathrooms.
And did
That's good.
yeah. And did I read the price of admission correctly?
It is free.
There we go.
Free.
We like that.
Yes, just
and
pull
again,
on
this
up.
is Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday this
down
weekend.
at the old VFW.
Yep, the old one, right off 41st of Minnesota.
Yep, and before you hit 229 there
Yep.
on South Minnesota, wonderful.
Yep, like
wonderful
across
old
from
building
All
anyway.
City Pet Care.
Yeah.
It's across from Subway's across the street. Well, you'll see it. It's the place with the bouncy houses and the beaches. So just drive down there. You won't miss us.
All right. So we've got that taken care of.
Yeah.
We're letting people know about a great festival that'll be very entertaining. But
Mm-hmm.
you have a very entertaining story to tell about going after the peaches.
Yes, please come and buy these peaches because we worked very hard for them. So I think some people do wonder about my fruit truck. Like, is it really farm to table?
It is. Yeah, there's no
or what's
doubt.
the deal? Is it BS or not? It's not. The owners truly have certain farmers, and they're smaller farmers. I know they get asked a lot if they're organic. The reason that company can't say they're organic is because the farms they buy from are so small that they're too small for the FDA to give them that
label them that?
distinction.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are very careful about non-pesticides. Like I know when we went to the strawberries, they use ladybugs and cabbage of all things. Apparently, if you put cabbage all around a strawberry patch, the bugs stay away. See?
Huh.
The more you know.
How about the rabbits?
I know. Well, the rabbits don't seem to care. I guess maybe in Georgia. I don't know if they have them or not, but it's amazing. So
In our backyard, they did.
yeah, no. So we go to the peach farm now to buy the peaches, and
Right.
Irene goes on, checks them. She literally goes on. I was with her and her husband. They literally go into the orchard where I'm pretty sure that Georgia is where, I'm sorry I have relatives in Georgia. I shouldn't say this, but it's so hot. I'm pretty sure that's where bad people go when they die because it is so humid and hot. But they really go and they taste the crops because there's different varieties. They pick the variety that they feel is the juiciest and the best of the season, and then they purchase that. The fruit truck comes like a day or two behind us and load it up, and then it goes to the first route, and then it's just a constant stream of the trucks going back picking up the peaches, and they go to Minnesota. The truck goes back, and then they go to Wisconsin, and they don't put preservatives on them, so they really are fresh. And so this year we went down there to the Lane Peach Farm, and we took a camper, which was great. And and it was a few of us in the camper, about 8 of us in there, and it was fine. And we get down there, and for some reason at the end, I don't know a lot about campers because I'm more of a glamper, so you can tell how much this was good. But the generator went out, so the air conditioner went out, so it was a balmy 96 degrees in said camper.
Yeah.
That was nice. And there's also not a lot of wind in Georgia and breeze, as it turned out that day anyway. So they were going on a separate little end of excursion, family thing, and so I was going to come home. So we were 2 hours from Atlanta, and so we had to drive to drop me off at the airport. And by then, we'd been there a while. We'd been at the orchard. It was hot. It was fun, though, but it was hot, and, had all our peaches bought, and we get in there. So it's a 2-hour drive in the camper with the 96 degrees. So that was fun. Most of my clothes that were cute had been worn already. We did some marketing videos and such. So I had, what was left was my Bob Dylan t-shirt. So I had that on, and then I grabbed my backpack, which I didn't even realize. I hadn't planned to fly home, and it had a big NRA patch on the back, which didn't even really pay much attention to till I got dropped off looking like some sweaty homeless person in this Bob Marley, not Bob Dylan. Bob Marley,
wow,
even better.
more so.
Yeah, Bob Marley shirt and my NRA backpack in Atlanta. So I get off, go into the little kiosk where you can get your thing. Well, it turns out I hyphenated my name when I got married because I thought I'd be all liberal. Don't do it, ladies, because it turns out when they make your airline, your friend makes your pass with just your current last name, it doesn't match up. So I couldn't get my ticket. So I go to the nice man at the ticket counter, and he's like, this doesn't match. And she must have been in a hurry because she put her home address instead of mine, which also didn't match. And so I put my NRA backpack down because I figured I'd already been flagged by then. And they were very kind. And we'll get your ticket. Here you go. You got to go to the ticket counter, though, at the Delta Concourse to get your seat. Okay, fine. Where's that? Well, that would be 2 buildings over, 2 trams, and up that escalator. Of course it would be. Why would it ever be the closest one? So I go through there, and I'm trucking along, and I have an autoimmune thing that makes it hard to walk fast, and I sweat like if there was Olympics for sweating, I would be gold. So I was.
I'm going to ask God, why the back sweat?
I don't know, but I had that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the gold medal for sweating was a competition. It was fierce right then. And I walk up there. It was so bad when I got to the security. The guy just looked at me and sent me to handicapped. We didn't even ask. I don't have nothing on. He just went, go over there. I'm like, yeah, I got it. So I went over there with all the screaming children and the people in the wheelchairs and myself and Bob Marley and my NRA backpack. Got through. Actually, I got stopped. But it wasn't because of the backpack. One of the kids in the camper was just being nice, I think. I don't drink pop, but they'd put a Fresca in my backpack. So they undid all
more than 3 ounces.
Yeah, it was way more. It was 12-ounce Fresca in my NRA backpack. So they took that out and then
Confiscated?
Yeah, confiscated. It was put in the bad bin. They have a bad bin. So thank you. So I took off. Where do I go next? Go over there, take tram 1. You get to letter C, then get off and get on tram 3, go to letter D. I said, okay, I have 2 college degrees. I should be able to do this. So I get on tram 1, and you know how everything in airports sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Very
You
much.
know it does. Please exit tram. So I didn't understand that, and I thought I was on the wrong one. So I got off. It turns out I was right, but I have a lovely video now of myself and the other concourse leaving me, which I was glad I took for, posterity, because I realized I was wrong. So I get off, and there's a sign that says it's a 25-minute walk to Concourse D, or I can get on this moving thing, and it would be like 10 minutes. So I chose that. I thought that'd be the best. So there I'm sitting. I get there, find it, Concourse D. I'm gate 8. Do you want to take a wild guess what gate it started on my end?
Started at the opposite end.
30.
30.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually stopped to the bathroom, had a little cry, just a little one, and that is where I lost all of my Lane keychains for souvenirs. So somewhere in Atlanta,
Somebody has a bunch of
three
Lane
really
keychains.
lucky people with they were nice. They had like compasses and
Oh.
I know. You're welcome, people of Atlanta. Somebody got those. So anyway, I finally get there. I sit down. My Bob Marley t-shirt, which was a light gray, by now is a very dark gray. And my glasses are fogged over, like literally. Everything, I have extensions in my hair, so the bottom part had flattened, the extensions. The top part had gone up like a mullet, like, Kid Rock has never seen. It was beautiful. And I sit down, and I'm so thirsty, and I find one of 6 plugins, because I was about on 2%, plug in my phone. I look across, and all I see is this Wolfgang Puck. You can get, like a hummus roll and some lemonade. So I thought, I'm going to do that. But I have nobody to watch my bags. So there was a lovely little, like, Asian college student next to me. So I look at him. I just hope I'm not on an episode of Airport, is the only thing. I look at him, and I said, here's the deal. I've already lost the souvenirs. There's nothing really in here but dirty underwear. And if you put drugs in here, I'll find you. So can I just go over there and get some lemonade? And he laughed. He goes, yeah, that's fine. So I walk over there. I'll take this sandwich and lemonade. Okay. Gives it to me. And the guy kind of looked like Bob Marley, which I think helped me, because I brought out my $20 bill. And he says, oh, we don't take cash. I said, oh. And I did bring up Airport. I said, here's the deal. This was a light gray t-shirt about 2 hours ago, and my hair doesn't usually look like this, and I'm not crazy, but if I don't get lemonade like really soon, I don't know what's going to happen. I said, and he goes, just give me your 20. I said, praise the Lord. So I gave him my 20. I don't even care if he pocketed it. And I got my lemonade, and I sat down. Well, then I realized on my thing, I need to get my seat number. So I go up to the counter, and there's a lovely gentleman there, and in front of me were 7 Brazilian men. I mean, you can't even make it up. You don't need reality TV.
No.
Just follow me, I think. And there's 7 Brazilian guys. I know this because they said they were from Brazil, and they were upset that they weren't all seated together on this flight. So that got taken care of. And then in front of me was another lady, and she was kind of worried she wouldn't get to sit by her travel companion, and that got fine. It gets to me, I said, I will sit on the wing. I will hold on to the tire. I don't care. I got to get to Sioux Falls. And he looked at me and goes, I take care of you. I said, well, thank you. And then he pushed me aside. I said, but I need the seat number. He goes, no, I take care of you. Don't worry. And then he started calling me Bob. I take care of you, Bob. I said, okay, but what seat? He said, when I call number 1, you just come up. I'm like, well, okay. I mean, how much worse could it have gotten? I mean, even if I get in a wing, I'd probably get strapped on. I didn't care. So I sat down, drank my lemonade, had an hour and a half to wait. Pretty soon I hear 1. So I come up there. He goes, Bob, come up here. I said, what? He said, I move you to first class.
Oh,
you
wow.
look like you've had a bad day. So I did. Me and my T-shirt and my NRA backpack sat right next to a pilot that was traveling back home. And I watched The Tourist with Johnny Depp, and I made it home.
What a deal.
And the Peaches did. So for
Yes.
those 2 reasons, please come to the Peach Fest.
Exactly. And this as a volunteer.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't get paid. No, I haven't even got peaches yet. I didn't get some peaches. No, but yeah, it was fun, though. It is fun. And the next thing is the cherries. They're coming, I think, in July. And Mother Nature's just slowly ripening the cherries. I know people have been asking, but Mother Nature, it's her fault.
Yeah. Well, just
ours.
this past weekend, or not this past weekend, because that was hot. We didn't leave. But the weekend before, when we were driving around, my wife said, you think the corn's going to be knee-high by the 4th? because it was at that time just an inch or two above the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And so Mother Nature's about a good month behind on it.
Yeah.
It's a little strange
I know.
for that reason, no doubt.
It is weird. Everything has been behind. So, but we're getting there. And there
Yes.
will be peaches at the fest.
All right.
So
We
that's
look forward to
good.
that.
Yes.
All right. So we've got 2 out of 3 things taken care of.
Okay.
We've talked about the festival. We've talked about the very entertaining story
Yes.
of returning from Georgia. Now let's talk about Lisa B. Kutter,
Oh, Lord.
the actor.
Well,
And everything. I mean, you do some voiceovers. You've done
I
some
have.
TV commercials,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
So what got you into all of it to begin with? What made you
Well-
decide you wanted to be an actor?
Well, I think my profession had been a nurse, for
Yeah.
the longest time, and I did in high school, all that kind of stuff. Frank Pope was my original, theater guy, and although he knows this, I wanted to be really cute in one of his things. He made me be Bloody Mary, so I'll never forgive him for that. But that's okay. I realized I get the plunky comedy roles. I'm not the little cute blonde soprano. So, but no, we've done. I met my husband in theater at Augie, and our kids. That was like our form of soccer, kind of. Our kids both have done it and grown up to it. My younger was a theater major at SDSU and now USF, and of course, now that he's graduating, he's going to be a goldsmith because that's what you do with theater majors. But anyway, we just really love it. We've started to do some stuff with Lights Up Production. We were part of their fundraiser last weekend. And so, yeah, I've done a lot. I was on the board at the Playhouse for a while, and we've done stuff at Worthing, which is a great little theater. If you've never been out to Worthing, little dinner theater out there. I got to plug them all because Corson's a great
Went to the
theater.
gala the weekend before last.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
Oh, good.
wonderful time. And
yes.
we're headed to
with the Haig brothers?
Yes, and we're headed to the camp show.
Oh, good.
On I think we're going Saturday night. Friday night.
I was there at the gala night upstairs in the costumes,
You were?
borrowing costumes for the
Oh,
fundraiser
my.
we did last weekend. Yeah, I didn't see you, but I was upstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we came home with a few things.
Oh, good.
Yeah, silent auction stuff.
Yeah, so we won too this weekend.
Did you?
I got a nice little chair with a Bible verse on, a wall hanging,
wow.
and I love a good silent
Very
auction.
cool. Yeah, they're
They
always
do.
fun. No doubt about that.
Yeah, so we all have to support, the Peach Festival and the arts because
Right.
there's a lot, and there's a lot of little pop-up groups in town here. I haven't got to work with them all yet, but they're wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That I think is one of the trends that also made the regular things we would see in community theater even stronger as it all continues to combine. And then the visual arts, you can't go to a coffee shop really without seeing a local
no.
artist that's
No.
got something on the wall there. And just the places that have taken on in terms of being a venue to have a show.
Yeah. Even like upstairs here.
Upstairs
we've
here,
got-
it's our wine with all
Yeah.
the jazz and the different music that they have. And then think about, like the Full Circle Book Co-op, poetry readings, singer-songwriter nights, and they've hosted plays.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. And so as someone that has been around this city and seen it grow population-wise,
Oh, yeah.
what have you thought about the explosion of the arts and entertainment here?
Well, I do think it's good. Years ago, it used to just be pretty much a community playhouse, and maybe Worthing was here too. My heart will always be at the Playhouse. That's where we started, and I loved all those guys. And they still do. They do wonderful shows, but. It's almost like we're getting to be a little mini Omaha now, and a little bigger cities now, and there's just more for everybody, because some of these smaller groups are doing a little more avant-garde stuff, a little more social justice stuff, which is great, and some people like it. Some would rather see Oklahoma, which is great. Some people are putting some of the oldies and goodies on, and we have Lights Up that was more of a Christian-based group that's coming up into town now, and that's wonderful, for people who want to go more that route. I think it's really nice that we have options out there, and it kind of keeps the prices down a little bit because there's some competition, especially in this, economy. That's a whole other podcast, so we won't get into politics. But, I just think it represents a lot more of the arts than had been able to before with just one or two groups. And I do think we're working together more than we used to.
True.
Which is
that's the
wonderful.
thing. It's not a competition per
No.
se. It's such great collaboration with everybody.
And it used to feel more like that,
Yeah.
I think. But no, it isn't now.
I know one thing that I've seen you in previous years has been at McKinnon Park with the Kim Bartling.
Oh, with Kim. Yes. Hi, Kim. If you're listening, I love Kim. She just put out the APB.
I
We're
saw
doing
that.
it again this year,
looking
Broadway
for it.
and Beyond.
Yes.
Which, if you get a chance to come out there,
Well, and I've
come
seen
on out.
both you and your husband.
Yep, my
in
husband
that.
Mike does a lot out there. Yep.
So, what do you enjoy about the singing part as well? Because you just mentioned the fact that we have groups doing avant-garde type shows, but some people want to see Oklahoma.
Yep.
You go to Broadway and Beyond.
That's all show tunes.
That's what you're seeing.
Yeah, and
Show
that's
tunes
my
and so
roots,
forth.
kind of. I gotta say, I love a good show tune. I really do. I like to just belt them out. But and that's kind of what Kim does too. Is hers. And if you don't know Kim Bartling, she is just a genius at putting that together and getting all age groups in, and sometimes it's whole families, and and even if you're not the best singer, we'll find a place for you.
Yeah.
You don't be afraid to come out and try. And I've been in shows before where people think they can't sing, and then all of a sudden they get up, and the rest of us are like, "Why are you here?" Now none of us get parts. Go away. So I do think that that's fun, and it's just a good thing in the park, and it's free, and people kind of come and go. But I do like the old show tunes, and I'm not sure what her theme is this year. I haven't talked to her yet, but I know it'll be Broadway. I know it will. 'Cause
What's been your favorite role you've ever played?
oh, it's a toss-up.
Okay.
It's got to be, well, I hate to, they're all good, but I really enjoyed Steel Magnolias. I was Clary.
Right.
We just did that, and this is honest truth. It's been almost 4 years now. It was right before COVID. We did a tour.
I remember you were up in Madison as
to
well.
Madison and Del Rapids and stuff. We did a spring show and then a fall tour. We have, the cast still has the same Facebook inbox thread going daily.
Incredible.
Like if I get up late, I'm already 30 to 70 behind, depending on the day. We're so close. And we got each other's backs. We're the Magnolias, and so that's been fun. But the Thenardiers were fun in Les Mis, and I've done a lot of the shows I've done with my hubby. That's fun. We did Oliver together, and then we're always the mean funeral people. So I got to sit on a child in a coffin, and it was fun. And we did 9 to 5 at Worthing, and I was Violet in that, and got to string my hubby up.
Yeah.
So whenever you can, be mean to him, he's hilarious because he's the quietest, kindest person, and he gets the meanest parts.
Really?
Yes, it's just hilarious. He always gets those
So
parts.
true acting.
He is acting.
Yeah.
I've never seen him act like that at home. Thank goodness. Woo.
What do you think you bring to a role?
Oh gosh. Well, we're always so I've never watched any of my things that have been taped. I don't like to watch myself, but without sounding like I'm just talking so great about myself, I think I'm the comedy.
Pretend it's an interview for a job.
All right.
What do you bring to a role?
I have good comedy timing.
Yeah.
I think that's what I have, and I am a good storyteller, and I can belt it out if it's an alto part. Don't try to make me a soprano.
No soprano.
Nobody's
All
gonna
right.
buy tickets to that.
All right, so
No.
we're going with a comedic alto.
Yes, a comedic alto. That's what
love
we
it.
need, a comedic alto. It's just
Fantastic.
fun, you just go to have fun and to entertain people, and
Well, we look forward to seeing more of you up on
Yes.
stage again throughout this summer.
Yes.
If
Well,
you're-
hopefully
if you
we'll be
get
in
to
the Broadway and
Broadway.
beyond.
All right.
Yep.
And of course, anytime that you're on stage, it's a fun time seeing
I
you.
hope so. Lights Up is having auditions for Mystique, so Brent, if you're listening, cast me. Da-da-da-da. And I think we're going to be back as the Fezzywinks in The Christmas Carol.
Wonderful. That was
Larry
awesome.
Etten was doing. Yeah, that was
Yes,
fun.
that was a great
fun.
time
So we're
last year.
planning on doing that again. So there'll be a little break in between here.
All right. Well, we look forward to all of that.
We got
In
to
the
get you up
meantime,
on stage.
Well, if it includes no memorization of lines, I'm good.
We can work something out.
Although I did tell Kim a while back that
Yeah.
there are 2 tunes that I pretty well have. Actually, more like 3.
I'm going to call Kim when we're done. Kim. You should come. You should come and do Kim's.
Well,
That would be fun.
I will consider it. I'll have to take a look
It'll
at the
be
rest of
warm.
the calendar throughout.
It'll be warm, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. Always a
Yeah,
great time out
she's
there.
a sweet
All
gal.
right. I'll always end with the 2 questions. Number 1 quite often answers the second one.
Okay.
So first of all, when you are not part of the entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Well, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. was awesome. And otherwise, you can most likely find me watching old episodes on YouTube of cops.
Okay.
Or true crime documentaries.
Oh, you like that stuff, huh? Yeah.
That's the two big ones.
So are you a fan of Dateline with Keith Morrison?
I haven't watched that one a lot. I got some that chapter. I guess I'm giving some guy I don't even know a plug on YouTube. I love his stuff. It's true crime stuff. And then there is one that's called True Crime that comes on there, and it's unsolved like murder mysteries. That's my deal.
All right. So question
dark
one
side.
didn't answer question two then. Any other hobbies?
Hobbies. We have a lot of pets.
Okay.
I have a parrot that swears and says kiss me. And I have a rabbit that will nip people besides me. And we have dogs and cats. And I have a snake named Clary after me in the Magnolias. Yeah, little Clary. Well, she's not little, but yeah. So I guess it's pets and crime. That's odd.
I hear a future storyline.
There's something there. Wow.
All right. Lisa Kutter, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so
Yes.
much. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you on stage again. Also look forward to this weekend.
Yes,
the
come
South
out.
Dakota Peach Festival, Saturday and Sunday down at the old
Yes.
VFW.
Yep, come on out. I won't have my Bob Marley. I'll have to wear something peachy, but,
All
you
right.
know, picture the Bob shirt. It's cool.
We'll talk more about it. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dave.
And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Jesse Moffett, and I'm not a piano player. I'm a comic magician and hypnotist. I've been performing for over 20 years. I've performed at many events, corporate events, holiday parties, post-prom parties, graduation parties, state and county fairs, festivals, just about anything you can imagine. The funniest thing about the Magic Act is that I use a ton of audience participation, and that can make things really interesting. Put it down the front of your shirt. Stop being so, I'm not, my hand won't follow. The best thing about the hypnosis show is that the volunteers and their imaginations really make it a blast.
Holy crap, dude, did you see what you just did? You could do that possibly to girls.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Arts and entertainment lovers, you hit the mark. It's the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everyone. You know it. Here it comes. It's always a pleasure. And it's always a pleasure to bring new guests on the show. It's been, almost 2 years, I think, since I first met Randy Ruud at the Sioux Falls Stage Awards.
Yeah.
And you were on the first panel of that. Yeah.
I am.
And
Yep.
we'll talk about that, as many things we have to talk about. And so it's like, man, I got to get you on the show to talk about tech stuff and so forth.
Thanks for having me.
And finally, we get to round to it.
Yeah.
Because we're in a bit of a lull right now. The majority of the quote-unquote seasons for theater are finished up. Now on to the camps.
they're still going
there's
on.
still stuff. Yeah, but, in terms of what you would buy a season pass for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
but,
down to Worthing helping them out with their Lion King Jr., setting lights up with that.
Okay.
Hot.
Yes. in fact, going to that this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, the
yes.
camp show, correct? Yeah.
Camp show.
Yep. And looking forward
Friday,
to that.
Saturday. And then Charlie Brown will be coming up, and I'll help with
That's
that.
right,
at the end
because
of the month here.
besides Old Town Dinner Theater, now you're also going to be taking on Good Night Theater.
Yes.
That's
Good Night
excellent.
Theater. Technical advisor is my title. So,
Well, they do an incredible job with all those shows.
Yes.
And, there's a lot to the tech in that, too.
they are growing.
Yeah.
So it's
And
good.
Now, what do you think that you're going to be adding to it then as a tech advisor?
Probably just safety. I like to, and then special effects.
Mm-hmm.
So my main concern is whenever I'm doing a show backstage or direct stage managing, is safety. Bring that to the theater, and then they asked me to help out with special effects, and then also during the run of the show, hopefully, if there's anything that needs help.
You have how many shows under your belt now?
Oh yeah, over 100 now. 100 productions.
Are you stopping, or are you still counting?
Oh
actually?
no, I'm still
You still
counting.
have, so you have an accurate count then.
I haven't added on.
Okay, since the 100, or
I just looked and it was 103, and I go, I think I'm missing some, so I have to look.
And now, did you do some acting first? Because I know you're primarily on the tech side, but
I can do some acting. I have done some acting. The last big one was Calendar Girls.
oh yeah, certainly.
Did that show. It's John for 3 scenes.
But what got you started in theater, and then what was it that you really went, I want to do the tech part?
Actually, my parents really loved, or actually my mom really loved listening to musicals like Cabaret, Sound of Music, Camelot, Pal Joey, all the classics. So we'd have those on 8 tracks in the car and travel around. And my dad was a professor over at Augustana, English professor, and his little group, he knew the theater guy there. And so we'd go to the shows. And then I get to high school, and then a friend of mine goes, "Hey, we need some help on the show, Music Man." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, whatever." I know the show really good, really well. And so he gets me to run the sound effects. I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that, as long as I'm not anywhere where I can be seen." Puts me in the middle of the audience with the reel-to-reel running the sound effects.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first technical gig that I had in high school. And then from there,
most high schoolers back then didn't know how to run a reel-to-reel.
No, or edit it.
Yeah. Oh, the razor blades
that was
and
a
the
learning,
chalk marks. And everything. Wow.
That was a learning job in itself, too. And then from there, it was helping out backstage, sets, painting, setting lights, doing anything, and just learning as much as can and having fun.
One of the things we talk about on this show is how there's been such an explosion over the past 10 to 20 years in the Sioux Empire, the different venues, all of that and so forth. But what's been the explosion of the equipment for you?
Wow.
Working tech. I mean, you talk about reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
Now I suppose everything's on a computer program or something.
Oh, yeah.
And
Audio has gone digital, and you can run it from your laptop. Lights have gone digital. You can run it from your laptop, if need be. They're LEDs now, and it's just amazing. Movers and panners and tilts and everything. It's just like crazy amount of stuff, and I'm just going, I wish I had that when I was really involved. Right?
Well, this board that I have for recording the podcast, it's digital. It records onto a little card, runs off 4 AA batteries.
Yeah, I'd picture you having this huge reel-to-reel.
Yeah, right. It wouldn't have been remotely recorded. It would have had to have been in a studio.
It would have taken you long time to bring all that in.
Exactly. And now, and then the editing process for me on a Wednesday night, I can sit there and have a Jack Daniels. Oh, yeah. And enjoy that whole part of it.
So the design process has changed. You can do a lot more with lights now. Instead of I have one light and I can only gel it this one color. Now I have one light and it'll do a whole Roscoe color, spectrum.
Are you self-taught in this ever since you started, or have you taken some training on the different lighting?
I went to theater, or I went to college for theater, hoping that I'd go on further. And the Cities was pretty much the biggest place that had, the Guthrie. And my theater professor went to the Guthrie and got a job there and stuff. So he's kind of pushing that. And then, but I am self-taught. And the things that I do is find people that are professionals in it and learn as much as I can from them.
Because when I got into radio as a kid, I remember going up to one of the radio stations, just asked, can I just sit and watch?
Oh, exactly.
And I learned so much about how radio was able to segue records and things like that with the back spinning and having the 2 tables and all this. And of course, now you just, punch a button on a computer and everything goes for you no matter what. But, in terms of, I still think when it comes to doing technical things, sound engineering, lighting engineering, anything along that line, there is so much to be said about just observation.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, and just play with it. I mean, read up on what you're doing and stuff. And that's how I learned is what's this do? What's running an audio board, compressor. Oh, what's this do? Oh, yeah, okay. Everything, even with the lights, it's what's this chase mean? Oh, yeah, okay,
Boy, the LEDs, that's made such a huge difference, hasn't it?
I'm bummed. But, Right now down in Worthing, at the Worthing Dinner Theater, we're trying to get them switched over to new LEDs slowly. But of course,
They still have some cans there, don't they?
yeah, a lot of cans, a lot of donations.
Yeah.
It works, but right now it's time to change and
Right.
get with it. So,
What type of investment does it take for a community theater to get to that point?
oh boy, pretty much be established and get just talk to people and get to know people. You might be grant writing or sponsors or somebody that just loves theater and says, I got some money, here, do something with it,
Right.
and stuff. And sometimes the theaters, I know they write their wish list, something like, oh, I wish I had a LED strip light, or something, or tablecloths or something,
Yeah, and then
Or-
you start to get into some of those bigger ticket items and so forth. But
Yeah.
it is fun to see that.
Yep.
And what has been the best thrill for you in being the tech for a show?
Oh my gosh, just running it, being there backstage
Uh-huh.
or in the booth or somewhere, just seeing the show, being run. That's a really great thrill. And there's nothing like live theater because it's different every
Every night.
show, every
Yeah.
night, as you probably know. And unfortunately, I'm the type of one that kind of looks for the mistakes, or like, oops, and they're little ones, but
Right.
but everything else is usually just being there in the event.
Take us through the process of, a director chooses his play, his or hers,
Yeah.
or it's already chosen for them, and they get it. They start doing the reads and so forth.
Yep.
At what point do they come to you and say, and start to give some of their ideas and look for your ideas? And then how does that process go from there to opening night?
Yeah, it just depends what I've been asked to do. So, say if I'm a stage manager, usually I'll be assistant director. So I'm in on right away the start process. Usually the like good night, or they already have the show picked, or so you already have the show and you have the director and they already picked me, and just run through the show, read throughs, get them all set up, and just basically get everything organized is pretty much what my job is at that production process. And then comes down to taping the floor for blocking, following the script and writing down the blocking. And then I usually don't work with directors I don't know. So some directors know me pretty good, and they're take my advice, without like going, no, this is the way I'm doing it. Which is nice because they're open.
Yeah, that's true, and it's a good thing that they are, because sometimes they would miss out on some incredible
Exactly. And
things,
I love comedy,
and creativity, and
Oh yeah. I love comedy, and I don't know what it is, but I can see it. And there's, if something's in a script and it's supposed to be funny or something, I can see it, and I just explain what the process is to the actors, and it works, for some odd reason.
So when you become a tech director, or in this case with a good night, you're going to be a tech advisor. Is there more of a forte for you for the lighting, or the sound?
Right now it's just special effects,
Right.
And anything else with that, they have lighting already, a light person designer already chosen, and sound already chosen. I do have a sound effects library that I can use if they need to, which I have given them.
Royalty free?
Yeah.
Can it be borrowed? No.
And but for right now, my job sounds like it's special effects, and then helping out backstage with those guys.
Yeah.
So, and they have I'm looking forward to Salem, the musical, because I've heard about it, explained it, and got some ideas, and it's going to be really, really neat.
All right.
Really neat show.
So you've talked about the fact that what you do and so forth, but how well do you get to know the actual script as you're either backstage or up in a booth and so forth. Are you basically saying the lines at the same time, or?
I don't get that detailed.
Okay.
With that,
you just know your cues.
yeah. Usually, when it gets to tech rehearsal and then production, I'll have the book, the Bible, it's called, and I have all the light cues, sound cues, everything written down, and I just follow that along. So I don't have it memorized or anything like that, and it just call the show off that book. Basically, you'll know if somebody's messed up, after you've seen it a long time. And for example, there was one show where somebody was, I don't remember what show it was. Somebody was doing the script and going down, and they jumped ahead a page, and then they went back a page, and then finally they caught up.
Well, I didn't know you were the advisor on that show I was in.
Yeah. But it's so neat seeing different shows and what happens, and it's kind of cool.
All right, so you said you're looking forward to Salem coming up, but what about the shows that you have done in those 100 plus?
Oh.
What was one that you said, man, I just can't wait to get my hands on this and have fun with it?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that question, and it's Noises Off.
Oh, yeah.
Resected Noises Off. I knew almost everybody in actors-wise, and had Jim Lease, the director, and I know of him for years. And we just hit it off, and it's one of those wild adventures. And I called the show right on the edge of the stage, right by the curtain there, the Grand, and I could see every little thing that went on. And it was a blast, and just fun watching that show.
All right, so you're looking forward to Salem then.
And then
any other show that you would really love to if it ever came around that you have grandiose ideas for?
I saw this is you're just gonna laugh. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Really?
The musical.
Yeah.
On TV live version.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about SpongeBob.
But I definitely would.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it, the series, except it's a cartoon on the show. But just watching the musical and all the tech stuff that was going on, I was just overwhelmed with it. Just going, wow, how could we do that? I think I know how to do that. We can figure that out. And just the sound effects and do this and that. We could get them. I'd love to do that show. And I think, is it DAPA's doing that? Somebody's doing that. So,
okay,
the kids version. But I'd love to do an adult version of it, a production. But I have ideas, I would love to do that show. Just be the production design, doing the lights and the projections and everything on that.
What is a piece of tech that you've not been able to use yet?
Projection mapping.
Okay. That is phenomenal. I just, because I love tech stuff. I'm not a techie, but I do love it. And I'll sit there sometimes and go, how did they, and I'm trying to process it through my head and so forth. And I just put my hands up and say, wow.
Yep. I have a good friend that was with the Sioux Falls Community Playhouse a long time ago, Jody Sekas. He was the set designer and tech guy, and he's in Wisconsin now. And I would see some of his shows on Facebook, just bloody pictures and stuff. And they did a little bit. He's at a college, university college. I don't know the name of it, but they were doing projection mapping, and I was just like, hey, how what do you use? Just stuff. Of course, it's expensive.
Yeah.
but I'm like thinking like, okay, we could do that cheap way. How could you do that?
Yeah.
So
what's the budget ramifications
and then
of
what
this?
Shows would you use it in? Of course, SpongeBob SquarePants, but I'm thinking like, okay. But then I get pulled left and right, helping out. Goodnight, Worthing, Broadcast Theater. So.
Well, with your years of experience doing this, I know the previous interviewee, Lisa, and you have gone back a ways, and so you've seen each other plenty. And she was asking for somebody, and you said you were a little stretched out right now, but I know, or you said I'll put it around.
Yep.
You have to have quite the network in this, don't you?
Oh yeah.
We think of people that I've acted with them. the actors will say, "Oh, I was in a show with them once," and so forth. But
Yeah,
I suppose the tech is a little bit more close knit, isn't it?
it is. It's not a large group as the actors are. I know tons of actors, but tech is pretty small. But I know a lot of people, And then I with my age, I'm trying to give a little bit of my knowledge to other people now.
Right.
The new crowd growing up. This is the way that I do it. So.
And then think of what they're going to have for
Yeah.
things to work with in 25 years.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But yeah, if like I don't know how it runs, I'll ask. I'll just shoot it out there, and I know people in lighting, I know set people, audio people, professionals, that do this for a living. So and then they might know somebody who knows somebody, and that's how it is. It's who you know, basically.
So somebody that came out and wanted to be in tech the way that you are, now as you look at those in college going through theater, what's the ratio? I mean, what percentage want to do tech versus being on the stage?
Ugh. I really don't know.
Because I just, if you had a ballpark, if you thought about it, 1 out of 4 or something.
I would say it's more than that. It's probably 1 out of 4 when I was in there, but maybe a third, maybe.
Wow.
I don't really know. It seems like I go to shows,
Right.
and the college shows and university shows, and I see a lot of people that are starting to recognize, and they're not actors or technicals. So it's like, okay, so
well, that's good to hear.
That's good.
Because you think of people that decide they're going into theater.
And there's classes now too on that, in which
Right.
I never
instead
had
of just,
that.
OJT, basically.
Yeah, I basically had to join a union in town just to learn that stuff. And it was just basically, if I wanted to learn it, it would be doing rock bands, coming in, doing follow spots on rock bands. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be in theater, But things change, So, and here I am.
What do you think of the growth of theater?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know. I think we were talking or something like that. Basically, we had to go up to the cities and see improvisation shows. The Guthrie had shows going on, but then there were little shows. I call it off Broadway in the cities. There was pretty much nothing here, just besides the community theater.
Right.
There was a few things that tried to start up, but they never succeeded. But now the growth in it, and I'm just like overwhelmed. I have to pick and choose in my time, and it's great. I love it. And there's so much. There's dance, and there's, it's just like amazing in this town now.
And the visual arts too.
Oh yeah.
Popping up all over the place. And more shows to go to for those.
Exactly. And the arts too. The paintings and the people drawing and sculptures, and it's just unbelievable, and it's great because you got to have that in a town.
Right.
You can't just be a working town. You got to have an outlet, and that's my outlet too. It's theater's my outlet. So
all right,
that's my fun.
When I have like a guitarist on the show, I will quite often ask, "So how many guitars you have that you're willing to tell that you purchased and so forth?" Well, obviously for you go someplace and the tech equipment's going to be there for the most part, right?
Yes. Right.
So what does a garage or a closet of Randy Ruud's look like with tech gear? Is it minimal because places have it all, or do you still kind of go, might need that someday?
I just weeded out because of COVID, kind of stuff like that. But right now, my son just came back from grad school, and he's starting up as a business. Well, COVID hit, so it's kind of a low right now. And he's doing a baseball, my wife's going to kill me on this, thing where you're in high school and you want to be noticed in college. So you videotape. He'll videotape
the highlights.
Yeah, he'll videotape the highlights in baseball, and he wants to move on to softball. So he's going to have live streaming. So right now, my tech closet is live streaming.
Okay.
Like I have 6 cameras. I have HDMI, wireless, transmitter receivers. I got a mixing board. I got audio microphones. I got a monitor, and so we've been practicing with his. He's on the Hops, Sioux Falls Hops in town. All their home games, practicing with their games until we do his game with people who actually pay. And that's been working out really good. So that right now is my tech gear.
I'm just going to make sure that my wife just heard this as to everything that you have, based off of the fact that we just rearranged my office a little bit to be able to host podcasts at home. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's nice to get out now. It's great.
That's true. So. All right, 2 questions I always end with, and you're familiar with them. And the first part is, when you're not part of the entertainment scene, in your regard, mostly being in the tech area, what do you like to go out and be entertained by when you're not working a show?
I like to go and just sit back, have a drink, and just watch live jazz, or anything live, piano, something. Yeah. And we actually used to come here to our wine bar.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back now.
Yes, we make it fairly regularly.
Yeah. And of course we know a lot of musicians who play, so it's really neat seeing them.
Yeah.
So
all right, other hobbies.
I like to read.
Okay.
Of course, my dad was a English professor, so I got a lot of his classic books, and it's just a wide variety of books, from classics to science fiction to mystery. So,
how about the authors that you like that are new and so forth? Are you a Grisham fan of David Baldacci, or?
I like Hemingway, Michael Crichton a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Crichton.
Agatha Christie. Right now, I'm going through her books again. A wide variety. One of my best books I like is what is it? Kennedy O'Toole? Kennedy? The Confederacy of Dunces. And it will surprise you if you read it.
Okay.
And that's one book that I'll go back and just read it.
Is that the recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confederacy of Dunces.
Look
All
that
right.
one up.
I will.
It's going to make you laugh.
All right.
And I love Dickens. Anything by Dickens. So, Great Expectation. And I'm also like reading Shakespeare every once in a while too. So
yeah.
So I'm actually reading 3 books right now at the same time. So.
Oh. Wow.
So
you and my wife.
Yeah. So.
But do you still actually like to take a look at the book and read it? And flip the pages?
I do have that. I have the paper books, and I do have my phone.
Yeah, okay.
So if I'm like out and about,
right,
I'll pick up my
if
phone.
If life's a little busy.
Yep. Or if I'm at work and I have lunch break, I'll pull out my phone and read. Okay. I don't mind that at all. It took me a while to get used to it, but a book's a book.
That's true.
And if
the
they're
story's
pushing it,
still there.
Yeah, if they're pushing it to people, good for them. Get people to read.
All right. Well, Randy Ruud, it's been a pleasure. And now I can say, hey,
there you go.
It's great that we had you on the show.
Yeah. I always listen to you. It's
well,
really great.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you putting the arts out there, and
my
everything.
pleasure. Yeah. And it's always, like I say it all the time, at the front and at the end of a conversation, it is a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, thank
you. So thank you. And we'll be
welcome.
Back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XL Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xlchiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XL Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
From the Dipsy Doodle Studios at the world headquarters of Big D Entertainment, a 40-square-foot home studio in the middle of America, it's Dave Holly.
Thanks again to those wonderful guests, the ever-entertaining Lisa Kutter and the tech master with over 100 shows, Randy Ruud. Thanks to the man who put the R in our wine bar and kitchen, Ricardo Terabelsi. That's where we held both of those conversations. And, of course, you, for the downloads, the shares, the likes, etc. Next week, Bear Bodkin's theater director Jana Fitzsimmons and singer-songwriter Matt D. both return to the show. Jada to talk about Shakespeare in Falls Park, and Matt will be performing for the July 1st Friday with a new band. If you haven't done so far, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get all 135 episodes online at DaveHolleyHour.com. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, I'm Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by the Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffett Entertainment. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, go to DaveHolleyHour.com. At the bottom of the front page is the additional links section. Click on the orange button, Dave Holly on Linktree. You can order merchandise, become a Dave Holly Hour VIP, and make contributions to the show. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.